But happy Friday to everybody, and thanks for joining us. Justin, how are we doing today?
Doing all right.
All
It's
right.
Friday.
Yeah.
It's nice.
All right. Let us know if there's any other technical difficulties that we could that we encounter, and we will get them worked out. We're trying some new things. We keep every week that we go live, we try to add a little bit more, and we're going to get it fine tuned. Right now we're using Streamlabs.
Yeah,
Trying
using
to
Streamlabs.
Incorporate some new fun things.
So, yeah, no, we're doing it. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
So what's everybody doing? Thanks for joining us on a Friday. How's everybody's Friday going? I think one of the things that we were saying before when we thought you guys could hear us was Sean said good morning, so that means it's Saturday for you, Sean. Is that correct? Yep. And Esta Kavita, hope I didn't butcher that too much, but says it's Saturday there as well. Where are you joining us from, Esta? George says he likes the Jason figure. Thanks.
Oh yeah.
So what do we got going on today? We're adding, if you can see in the bottom of the screen, we're trying to add the chat to the live feed and get that moving too, so you guys can, a little easier to see. And if you want to turn off your chat box, you can just hang out and watch.
We're doing a little. So if you guys don't know, we're actually the ones controlling everything here. So, which is not always normal, you know. And going live is kind of one of those things where, yeah, we're doing a lot. We're learning.
And by we, he means just him, because I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here talking, you know, and giving, you know, like barking orders, or you know, like I'm not really doing anything. So if it's working, it's all on Justin.
But yeah, no, thank you guys so much. You guys heard the haunted house music, I think.
There it is.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got people from UK, Australia. Sean says it's 1:10 a.m. Hi, Tiffany. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. George, you have the 18-inch Jason figure. I need to get some of the big ones. I don't have any of the big Jason figures. Is that the NECA one? I love those. They're freaking awesome. I know also McFarlane, like the what was the name of the original McFarlane horror figures? But either way, I know they did big versions of them too.
You know what's funny? As we were talking, me and Mike were talking about the pops.
Yep.
Until I think it was a few months ago, like about last year, I wasn't into pops at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got which one did I get? Well, I got J.J. Abrams pop.
Very cool.
And then yeah, this little one here. That's yours.
Yeah.
That's not my Jason. I steal it and put it next to the mixer.
That's all right.
So.
It's true. It's funny that Funko Pops get a very solid amount of hate in the collector groups. It seems like a lot of people are either like all in on the Pops or all out, and then there's there's us in between. But I also, when Pops got popular, my nephews were all into them, and I didn't like them at all, and now I love them. Like,
yeah, if you guys can see even in my camera here. This is just like a little small percent of Mike's collection, right over there. I mean, I don't even. Yeah, your angle doesn't have it too much. Well, no, you got some on the wall up there. I got
some on the wall, yeah, but they're a little out of focus. But I've got my killer clowns from outer space, some different, and I've gotten some cool autographed ones too. And that's kind of what I've been building a little bit of my collection. So as soon as these conventions go back and we can get out and enjoy some of the cons, I'll be adding to my collection of horror-related and other just pop culture-related autographed Funko Pops.
Yeah, I'm kind of. We might have a little surprise for you in a little bit about Pops, but Sean said, ominous 10 out of 10. Did a Zoom festival with friends and you scared a lot of people. So
that's all
yeah,
awesome,
if you guys
man.
are, Ominous is my movie from 2006 or 2009. That's when it was released. So thanks, Sean, for watching it. We talked about it last week on the channel, and we're trying to get it back on the actual channel.
Yeah.
So
your first feature film, a young Justin Berganzoni heading out into the wild, creating a film.
Yeah.
How old were you when you guys made Ominous?
I was 22.
That's so awesome.
22 and a half. So I didn't know what I was doing. But
had you graduated film school yet? Or were you
I was still in film school. Yeah,
That's
right before
awesome.
my senior year.
Yeah.
But
So much fun.
No, thanks, Sean, for watching it. We'll we still got to do some. I was gonna bring you a copy today, but I forgot, so I apologize. You have a copy. I was gonna you Mike a copy.
Yes, I need one. Wayne says he's gonna make it a point to go at least one horror convention in your lifetime. You definitely should, Wayne. Make it a point to go. Funny enough, as many conventions I'd been to, I hadn't been to a horror convention. The first time I went was 4 years ago, I think, Mad Monster. And I've been to like a Comic Cons and a lot of other cool stuff like that, but Mad Monster was a ton of fun. We went out there and it was amazing. Now I've been to some since, and then I planned on going to a lot more, and then the world kind of went weird, and now I can't wait to go back. It says Sean Bailey said his mate cried when he found out what happened to the children in your movie. Ominous.
Yeah, it's kind of a darker ending there. So I think people either really the ending pisses people off. I think more so than it is, than it is quote unquote bad. I think it's just more like.
Well, don't spoil it in case anyone else hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's cool. One night, we can't wait to get the film back on the channel and be able to kind of watch them. It'd be fun to do a live watch party and just chat through it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
George said he met Kane Hodder at one. That's cool, George. I haven't gotten a chance to meet Kane at one of the cons. I was here in town. We had a toy store called Big Bang that was owned by the owner of the Days of the Dead convention, and he would get some. He had Kane in the store, but I wasn't able to make it down that day. But I was able to make it down when he had a couple of other folks there. He had Tony Moran was there, and oh my God, my brain is going fried here.
What was this?
Steve Dash. That's who it was. Steve Dash was there as well, and so it was really cool that I got a chance to meet Steve Dash. Unfortunately before he had passed. But yeah, now Big Bang is owned by the people that own Nightmare Toys, which is another really cool local.
Yeah, Nightmare Toys is a great toy store in town, which I still need to go. They have a big mural on the outside of the building. This looks pretty dope.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I actually haven't been to Nightmare Toys yet, but I have been down to Big Bang since they took it over, and I'd like to get out there.
Yeah, we got if you guys don't know, Las Vegas, we got a little Mike's camera just
clicked on and off
here. That's the ghost of Mike's camera.
Here, yeah.
No, we have a pretty decent little horror community here in Vegas as far as and not even so much the movies, but toys. Some celebrities still live here. I think Elvira lives here. Some kind of a wide range.
I think David Naughton lived here too. I heard at one point. I don't know yeah, from American Werewolf in London. I think so. I heard that he had. I've never met him, but it'd be cool. He says I would love to meet Linnea Quigley and Carol Monroe. Yeah, I think they're both still alive. And I think Quigley just did something recently. But yeah, Days of the Dead is I think they're planning on coming back next, sometime this year.
I think it's May, right?
I think it is May. Yeah.
We'll double check on those dates, but yeah, if you can,
if
you're safe and you want to come back in May and you're vaccinated and all that.
yeah, it'll be fun, man.
Even if you're not, I don't know. Women in Horror Month, Mike, real fast.
Okay, yeah, let's we'll chat.
We'll jump on.
I just wanted to real quick say Estes said that they'd never been to a convention, and yes, definitely go one day. They're definitely worth going, especially if you love horror and collectibles and everything about it. It's you won't be sorry that you went. But to what you were saying, February is Women in Horror Month. I believe they started a couple of years back. I think is there a convention or a group that's kind of connected to that?
I'll be honest with you, I am not quite sure.
Yeah, I was kind of made aware of it last year, and it was cool. And we had done some promotion on our social media for that, and kind of dug in a little bit to some of the female filmmakers in horror. We have, speaking of local people here in Las Vegas, we have a friend of ours, Heidi. We have one of her short films on the channel, but she's a female horror filmmaker, so shout out to Heidi. And we were able to work with her on a couple of things, like a short film, and her project, Dolly Deadly, was made for with Lloyd
Trauma
Kaufman.
film,
yeah, Trauma film. So she's really cool.
A couple of female filmmakers on Heidi had one on 12 Deaths of Christmas.
Yeah, Heidi has one on 12 Deaths of Christmas. Heather, another good friend of ours. another amazing female filmmaker. Filmmaker.
She had her short play at the New York Horror Film Festival last year.
Yeah. What was the name of her short film? Do you remember? I know what it was like for the anthology, but it was it Razzle My Berries?
Razzle My Berries?
Like that? Yeah, that's amazing.
Razzle My Berries. If you guys can find that online, I don't know if she has it online right now, or she might have it at some festivals.
We gotta get on the channel. We gotta reach out to them. And Malvolia, the Queen of Screams, is in here. Hello, Malvolia. Thanks for joining us. And yes, happy Women in Horror Month, and happy Women in Horror Month to you. For those of you who aren't familiar with Malvolia, go over and check out her YouTube channel and check her out. She's awesome. She does some cool stuff, and she's
definitely
involved with, I think, a couple of films on our channel. Is that correct? If you are, let us know, and we'll.
Yeah, I think a couple Terror Tuesday films from Joe Dane.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Yeah, and just to mention before we forget, if you haven't come on Tuesday nights, most Tuesdays we have a film premiere on our channel. Part of it we would call Terror Tuesdays, and it's films from Terror Films Distribution Company. So
yeah, Joe Dane and his company, they supply us with some really awesome films, and it's been really cool to get some stuff, and we've met some really cool filmmakers and been able to have them on Tuesdays and put them in the live chat. They share their experiences from the movies that we premiere and some really cool stories, and it's just been a ton of fun to deal with those people. So we're really grateful to Joe and to all the filmmakers and cast and crew that have joined in and said hello. Yeah, so Malvolia said she was in Irrational Fear and 1031. Yeah, absolutely.
And 1031 was awesome.
Both great films. Yeah, 1031. I'm a sucker. I am a huge sucker for anthology horror films.
And it's big now. Anthologies are, in.
They're very much in. They've been done very well in the past, and I feel like for a while they kind of got not done as well. Like it just kind of seemed like a lot came out, and then to go back to the Women in Horror Month, one of my favorite movies recently that was the XX anthology film, which I think was 4 different female filmmakers, Roxanne Benjamin, and there was, I think I had it pulled up over here, a few others, obviously, but it was really, really good and a lot of fun.
When did that one come out, Mike?
2017, I believe. I'm going to pull it up. But if you haven't seen that, I
haven't seen that. I definitely need to watch it.
It's a lot of fun. And again, I love anthology horror films. 1031 is a fantastic anthology horror film, and it's here on Kings of Horror for free to watch. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Yeah, here's the directors in XX. It was released in 2017, and there's Roxanne Benjamin, Sophia Carrillo, Karen Kusama, St. Vincent, and Jovanka Vukovic. And I'm sorry for if I butchered any of those names. But it's been a while since I watched it. I haven't watched it I think I watched it right when it came out, but I definitely need to rewatch it, and I loved it. Wayne says, check out the anthology called Embrace of Darkness. I will. I don't think I've seen that one.
My Woman in Horror films that I really wanted to mention was one I've been on a kick for a while now is Love Witch. If you haven't seen Love Witch, that's fun.
And I still haven't had a chance to watch it. You've pointed it out to me. I've watched you watch it many times. I can't wait to watch it. I love the look and feel of it. It looks amazing.
It's amazing. It's Anna Biller is the director, filmmaker. She did a lot of stuff on that. I think they did a little article. I forgot who did the article. I think it was Variety or somebody did a top 12 female filmmakers right now, and she was on there. And she did like wardrobe, some set design, and she's a beast when it comes to just filmmaking. And The Love Witch, when I first saw it, I think I saw it on Amazon, and I just clicked on it, and I'm into the kind of the old 70s, 60s kind of off-beaten horror films. And so I was like, oh, this is, literally just clicked on it, started watching it. This is an older film. And I was like, wait a second, that's a modern cop car, And then I was like, but they kind of embrace the modern parts, like whatever they can't change, it's just there, and you kind of accept it. But in Love Witch, the look of the film, the way they shot it, the production design, the way it sounds.
Are they able to capture that sound?
And I'm a sound guy.
Yeah.
I do production sound. So hearing it, I was like, man, I don't know what kind of mic. Like, I really want to kind of know what kind of mics they recorded on. I felt like, Yeah, maybe it was old tape, old DAT decks or something like that, or all actually, a magnetic tape. I don't know, but the movie sounds old
I love it.
in a good way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool film. So yeah, no, Love Witch. If you guys haven't seen that, it's kind of popular, but that's my big female film lately. That's not even just so much female, just as a horror film in general.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing is like I'm very like the Women in Horror Month is really cool, and I love it, and it's cool to kind of shine a light on those female filmmakers, but they are also just incredible filmmakers.
100%.
Like it's not. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to give them a little extra attention this month, but my God, they're awesome all the way around. Wayne Butler says, "We heard of the Hammer horror film The Asylum." Yes,
I think I actually watched Asylum recently.
I haven't watched it
On here.
recently, but but yes, and it's been a long time, and it's another one I want to rewatch because back when I was young, like I watched so many horror films, and like I mean I literally, I don't know, so many for 15 years of my life, but I get a little older, your brain starts to like I remember the cover, I remember like a moment, and I know I've seen it. But it's been so long that I don't remember.
Yeah.
It. So it's fun because I get to go back and rewatch those movies, and it's like watching them all for the first time again. Like oftentimes, I rewatched House about 6 months ago, and I remember House vivid. Like I know that I saw House many times. I only remember like a couple characters. Like when I rewatched it, I was like, I remember the characters, but like story, like it's fun. It's kind of fun, I guess, to get older and your memory fade.
And rediscover your youth.
That's
though.
that's one of the benefits.
Growing up, it's like I'm 37. In the late 80s, when we didn't have cable where I grew up at, at least for the first 4 or 5 years, like legit cable we didn't have. We would get networks from Reno and things like that. So, and it was just the video store.
Yeah.
But I remember watching certain films growing up, and for years just having these scenes in my head of like, what movie is that from? And they just would last. And I remember probably about 15 years, not even that, about 10 years ago, 10 to 12 years ago, I picked up Lost Boys on Blu-ray right when Blu-rays came out.
Right.
And I was like, that's where that scene's from. I had like 2 or 3 scenes from Lost Boys.
Was it the saxophone guy?
Saxophone guy was one of them. I actually don't remember that as a kid. When I watched it the second time, I was like, this is amazing. How come I forgot about this?
Right.
No, it was 2 scenes in that movie that really like stuck out as a kid that kind of lasted was when they're hanging on the train tracks.
Yeah.
On the bridge and the hands. And I just like anytime I would play with my hands, like I would like play, like make believe, do anything, my brain always went to Lost Boys and they're like grabbing it, like hold on tight type thing. And then the other scene when I forgot the character's name, but the older brother of Corey Haim is eating he goes to Kiefer Sutherland's little lair.
Yeah.
And he's eating the rice, I think rice or chow mein or something, and it starts turning into maggots. Yeah. That one stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what these scenes last so long when you're growing up, but then it's like it's kind of cool when you find the film and you can put a name to the scene or a movie to the scene.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't even it's just a scene. You don't even. It's almost like it doesn't even connect to a movie in your brain, where you're just like it's just a memory, and then when you see it again, it's like seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Tiffany says she likes serial killer horror movies. I do too. I love serial killer horror movies, and I think one of the ones that we've talked about many times, which is widely probably not considered a horror movie, is Seven. But I think that's literally the scariest movie that there is. Like in my mind, that's one of the scariest movies and most effective movies in general. Which I'm not
funny enough,
anything.
I thought you were gonna say, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I thought you were gonna say Zodiac.
Zodiac, yeah.
Because Zodiac is like got to be my top 2 or 3 films. I think I've watched that movie, 100 times.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and that kind of falls in the line. Zodiac falls in the line. A little bit of horror, in the darkness part of it, but mainly, it's this detective movie, this mystery movie. And I love unraveling I love the chase stuff.
Zodiac's so good because like what I really appreciate Zodiac is going into it and being excited about watching it and knowing that I wasn't going to walk away from it knowing much more than I already knew. but it's still really good. Like that's a tough thing
Right.
to go up against. Is like
100%.
make an amazing movie and then be able to walk away and go, like it wasn't like they answered the question. It wasn't like the movie was going to tell us who the Zodiac killer truly was, or like because what are there 90 suspects?
Yeah.
And I know that there's people that have very strong positions on a lot of the different ones, but
that was the beauty of it, the emotional closure of, if you haven't seen Zodiac, watch it. But and obviously, there's, but the ending, I guess, in the sense that we obviously don't know who is the Zodiac killer, but
yeah. And if you do, let someone know.
If you do, you know the ending that we don't. But no, just the emotional closer with Gyllenhaal's character, with Robert Graysmith at the end.
Yeah. And I just recently, I think I was telling you, I watched that documentary series which is really good. It was on Hulu, I believe, but it's like it's about the guy who thinks that his, he was an adopted kid and thinks that his dad was the Zodiac killer, and has all these theories why. And either way, the way the series is laid out, it's really cool how it takes you on a journey. Like it's just I don't want to ruin it if anybody's gonna watch it and hasn't watched it, but it's like it takes you on a really cool journey. And if you like that stuff, check that one out. What else we got here? Sean says the worst horror movie you would watch because you had to is. What do you think?
The worst horror movie you would watch because you... Man, I tell you what, I like a lot of horror movies. I would say the worst, anything that deals with vomit, poop's not even that big a deal. Anything that deals with vomit, like, and I think we had one on the channel a while back, and I remember I think it was for one of Terror Tuesdays, and there's a certain level that I do have my limits for
Bodily fluids does it to you. I do yep. I don't know that I can explain how much I love that you said vomit, poop's not that bad. Like, I mean,
yeah,
it's all done. Like, we could just wrap it up today. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's right. I have this shirt on, J-Bone. That's one of my favorite movies. I hope you're not saying that's terrible, because that's one of the best. But yeah, we all have different tastes, so that's cool. I don't know. For me, Sean actually said the remake of Halloween is awful. Rob Zombie's film. Part 2, I'm not, and I need to go back and rewatch it. But I watched it in the theaters, and I remember his first version. I was like, okay, I was into it, and I'm not I love Rob Zombie, but I'm not a huge Rob Zombie horror film guy. Like, I can watch his stuff, but I'm not. It's not something that I really gravitate towards.
Speaking of Rob Zombie, I was or just a director with kind of a massive library of films. Mm-hmm. I actually was thinking about, I was going to talk to you about it. I do want to take some of these horror filmmakers and kind of watch their whole library. Rob Zombie was one of them. I'm gonna sit and kind of watch his.
And I would love to go back and rewatch a lot of Rob Zombie's movies, because I don't know, I think my tastes kind of changed since, like, I watched all his stuff as it came out in the theaters. And again, I was a big White Zombie fan. Like, I saw White Zombie here in Las Vegas at a small theater called the Huntridge Theater back in, my God, and I don't even know, 1998 maybe, or maybe even before that. I don't know. It was a long time ago, and he wasn't really that big yet, and it was a tiny little venue here in Las Vegas. If anybody's familiar with Vegas, the Huntridge Theater is pretty iconic. But that was the first mosh pit I ever got into.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, me and my buddies went down. So actually it had to be before 98, because I graduated in 95, and at least the way my memory remembers it, we were all we went down to go see White Zombie, and we were all kind of like around the mosh pit, and it was the first, like, all of us were kind of like, should we get in? Like, we were really excited about, like, nervous though, because it was just the first experience, and we jumped in, me and a buddy, and then it was like, we were hooked. We were hooked on punk shows and rock shows and heavy metal and all that stuff at the Huntridge Theater and mosh pits. And I broke my front tooth in a mosh pit at the Huntridge Theater. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I never went to the Huntridge. I was too young. Yeah. I didn't live here, but I lived 4 hours away. My brother saw some shows at the Huntridge.
Right.
So I'd always hear the stories there, and a lot of friends that grew up here too. That it's definitely a place I wish I could have got to see a show at.
It was fun, man. They keep talking about, because it's been closed for a very long time, that the roof fell in, I think, in late 90s. No one was hurt. And then they like kind of did some shows, I believe, like right next door, which was part of it still. But either way, it was bought, and then I think it's been saved. Like I think that they're saving it, and they've been talking about revitalizing it,
Right.
opening it back up, and so fingers crossed. It was tons of fun. Sean says mosh pit. I love it. Yeah. I definitely don't do mosh pits anymore, but when I was a young kid into horror movies and punk rock music and all kinds of other silliness, the Huntridge, the mosh pits is a way to go. I saw some incredible, like cool bands there before before you had to go pay $50 or $80 to see them in a venue that had, I don't even know, endless amounts of people in
Right.
seats, and so it was really cool to get to see some stuff there. I saw Tool there.
Oh, you did?
Tool played there before
Oh,
Tool
man.
mattered. Like it was just super cool. Like sometimes we would just go, because we wanted to go, but like it was like, oh yeah, I think that like the song would just play on the radio, and then you'd go, and it was just like, and then all of a sudden you're like, sometimes it was kind of unfortunate because by the time you got to really fall in love with the band, like what I'm saying, you'd already gone and seen them and couldn't experience
Right.
it that same way. But it was still really cool to see a lot of bands there. Blink 182, back when they were just Blink, used to play there pretty frequently. Like,
Oh, no way.
I want to say a handful of times, and I don't believe we were ever able to see them there. Like it was like kind of right before, and I was really into them, but I just hadn't gone to before I'd gone there. But Beastie Boys played there once. Saw them.
Yeah, I think my brother said he saw the Chili Peppers there.
Chili Peppers, yeah.
And then
Chains
I thought he
of
saw
Addiction.
Smashing Pumpkins there. I don't know if they played there or not, but
That's to say that I've seen Tool live. Yeah, Tool's amazing.
first time I ever smelt weed and saw a mosh pit was 1998. I was in 8th grade. Pearl Jam concert at the Thomas Mack, and Pearl Jam's my band, man. And
yeah, Pearl Jam's amazing.
they had 3 mosh pits going on, and they hadn't toured for like 2 years, 2-3 years, which was a long time. It was like 2 years, I think which was forever. 2 years for them not to tour was they had the thing with Ticketmaster, but I remember it was general admission. We all just ran into Thomas and Mack, get in the bottom of the floor, and it was just like, I was like, man, what is that smell? And my dad's like, well, let's move up a section. We'll just, but
That's awesome.
let's bring it back. Let's bring it back down.
Let's bring it back to horror movies.
Bring it back to horror movies.
I always feel like, you're right, 100%. But I also feel like rock and roll and heavy metal and punk always kind of like, I feel like the worlds combine. But
Yeah, for sure.
You're 100% right. Let's get back on track and stop. People aren't here. Carl Dicker says he loves John Carpenter movies. I am with you 100%, Carl. John Carpenter is my favorite.
Microwave Massacre. I watched Microwave Massacre. I'm pretty sure the Amazon has a bunch of like
So
kind of
Microwave Massacre is one of the ones, right, that we were looking at. We may have the ability. We're working on maybe getting Microwave Massacre onto the channel. So if things come through.
No, that's where I saw it. Okay.
Yeah, because it's
That's
yeah,
right.
we saw that poster, and I don't remember if I've ever seen that one, but we're trying to get some like older, like some old fun '80s horror stuff to kind of expand our catalog, and it's not it takes a little work, but we're working on it. So hopefully we'll be getting some of that stuff. Night of the Demons is also amazing.
I've watched Night of the Demons like twice this month on.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a
Night
ton
of
of
the-
fun. Yeah. Have
But
you
then
watched
there was-
Night of the Creeps yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, that one's fun too. You gotta,
Yeah.
throw that on one day.
I was gonna ask you about. So we have some new films coming out this year, or not us, but
Yeah.
some of the films that are coming out this year that I'm excited about. I don't know what you guys are excited about this year, but I'm excited about Halloween Kills.
I'm very excited about Halloween Kills. I think that's another one. Like I have some friends that hated this last Halloween. Personally, for me, it was like the coolest. In my opinion, it was the remake, and it's not really a remake. It's a direct sequel to I loved what they did. I absolutely loved everything about that.
Best Michael Myers since the first one,
Yeah, I agree.
and it's Nick Castle,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, Nick Castle.
The way he walks,
Yeah, he's
Nick Castle's Michael Myers walk. Like and I'm a Halloween junkie. Like I like all the movies, even the bad ones. Like I like them all. But the way he moves in this film, in the first one, I was like, that's the one. Like that's the Michael Myers that
Yeah, and hats off to the director and to the to everyone. Like it just feels like they captured spirit of Michael Myers, in my opinion. Like I truly loved that, and that was. You remember? Were you? So we were able to on opening night of Halloween. What was it? Is it just called Halloween? It's just called.
It's just
Halloween?
called Halloween, yeah.
Yeah. So when it when it came out in the theaters, we had our Sin City Horror Fest. It was the second year, and we were holding it at the Palms Theater in Las Vegas, or at the Brendan Theaters inside the Palms. But we were able to get the rights to screen the original Halloween movie.
Yeah, because it was the 40th anniversary.
40th anniversary. So we were able to screen the original Halloween, and then watch, when it premiered, the new one. So we were able to watch them back to back, and that was an awesome night. That was a really cool experience.
Yeah, no, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And Halloween Kills. But I wanted to talk to you about. Me and Mike were talking about one of the things I love about Halloween was the daytime scares.
Yeah.
He was a guy that came out in the daytime, and I thought that was like, when you watch those movies as a kid, it's like, oh my god, like that shouldn't be happening right now. It's
Right.
only at night. But I guess my question is that like daytime versus nighttime scares, is it very like what is
scarier?
What's scarier? Yeah.
I think that for me it's got to be daytime, because it's not, it still lives in that world of something that I'm not comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
that I haven't been like beat over the head with. Nighttime. I don't know. I guess even if you applied it to real life, yeah, if something scary happens during the day, it's like you feel safe when the when the lights are on.
Right.
But it's so I love that. I wish, and probably there are some really good horror films that explore that. But I love the idea of that. Like I love like exploring, because it does seem it's a theme very common, obviously, in movies, that like when the light, when the night comes and the sun goes down, things get a lot scarier, and if you make it till sunrise, you're a little safe, but it's, the original Halloween.
The miniseries of It.
Yeah.
Had a lot of daytime, kind of like daytime creepiness. He was out there in the day.
Yeah.
And
even the movies, even the new movies, the remakes, you
right.
use that pretty frequently. Like he's always kind of around. But yeah, I agree. Let's see, we have some conversation. Freddy versus Jason was awful, Letitia says. It's so funny, man. It's like those movies, it was a period where I was watching that stuff, and I was kind of like, I remember going to the theaters, being really excited, actually having a lot of fun watching it, but I also didn't really need to rewatch it. But I've since, come to appreciate like the ridiculousness of those movies, and I kind of love them now. But I also haven't watched Freddy vs. Jason in quite a few years, so I need to do that again.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like I'm getting older, and especially kind of like watching more horror films. As a filmmaker, there's I watch certain films as a filmmaker, and I watch the camera work and all, deconstruct the film as a craft. And I always have that, but I'm also watching the movies that just, that lack a little bit of craft, but just have some type of spirit, filmmaking spirit, that just like, let's fucking go in.
Just fun. They just make you happy.
Exactly. And no, I'm actually happier because I'm actually getting less. I've lowered the bar a little bit on my horror watch.
Snobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have too, because I was certainly, I think I spoke about it before, but it's during that 90s 2000 era of like independent film, I became very highbrow, I feel like, and that's where like my love for horror kind of like was put to the back burner for a bit, just because I was all into like these heavy stories, like these really cool stuff, and I'd go back and kind of rewatch some horror stuff, and I'm like, I enjoyed it still, but I didn't get and now it's back.
I kind of feel like maybe that might be partly due to the access in all the films. We have so much stuff to watch, and like before it was, you were kind of just not spoon-fed, but you were, everything was kind of curated, even the video store, it was like they still only had a certain amount of horror films, and if the film was 3-4 years old, 5 years old, it's lucky to still be up there, depending on kind of the store. So now it's like, at least for me, it's, when I go to some of these platforms and watch films, Kings of Horror, and it's like Kings of Horror, Amazon, and there's these films that I was like, oh, like I think I've seen that once when I was a kid, and so I think by watching more, I think actually that's helped the palette a little bit, because you kind of like, you're not watching just this one select few group of movies.
Right.
You know.
Well, and you go into watching it for a different reason.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely a different purpose for these films, and it's like, and they're entertainment and they're tons of fun. And then there's the more like what's his name? The more kind of psychological horror type of films, and the newer stuff that's been coming out, like Witch and what is the last two that I'm just escaping my brain here, but like that stuff is really good, very story driven.
Hereditary
is the one I was thinking of, yeah, and Midsummer, and those are both like really, like, I love both those movies. Those movies are creepy as shit. They're like, it's a whole different kind of horror.
And Get Out, and like a lot of those, the newer films are really setting a new bar on a certain.
But you don't watch like those movies with the same,
as killer clowns.
if you're trying to find the reason and the the reality in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, you'll hate it. I gotta go back real quick here because I saw something. Sean's trying to get this. It looks like he's trying to get this chat all riled up, or maybe just me, as he's talking about Jason. Jason is overrated. And also like Candyman. For those of you that aren't aware, I made Sean watch Candyman because he haven't seen it, and then he dissed it and tried to hurt my feelings. And Jason, I don't think is overrated. I think Jason's underrated as much as he gets all the love. Like I'm Jason. I'm a Jason guy. I love Michael Myers. I love Freddy. But like if I have to choose one horror icon that I could only watch the rest of my life, it's Jason.
Yeah.
What about you? Michael, right?
It's Michael.
I knew it was. Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
And I will say that I could go to, like, if I really, really had to focus on it, like, the argument I could make for Michael is the different tones of the movies, which is kind of cool. Like,
right.
You get, with Halloween and Michael Myers, you get the, the serious one with part one. And I mean, there's some, and even the remake, I feel like has a very strong cinematic feel. And then you get, like, H2O, and you get some crazy, like, where it kind of lives almost in the Jason world.
Right.
Jason, I feel like maybe part one is the most serious of the bunch.
Yeah, I say Jason is more iconic. Like if you had one of the three to represent the
slasher.
Yeah, if someone woke up like this, said, well, "What's a slasher movie?" You give them a Friday the 13th film. Even though I love Halloween. I think by the time when Friday the 13th hit its peak, it was like it took all the cool things from Halloween, took all the cool things from some of these other ones. It just kind of embraced the slasher, it really did.
Yeah, and I do think that, like, I think Jason is the slasher in my opinion.
Sean said, "I'm hurt and shocked."
It looks like my camera went off. Is it gonna come back?
Yeah, it'll come back.
Are you sure? Because it's longer than normal.
Interesting.
You keep it going while I figure this out. I think we should be coming.
Oh, there you
back.
go. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So back to, I'm gonna go back.
I gotta buy Mike a new camera.
Yeah, he needs one.
Or I just need to know how to
work. It's a pretty nice camera, but it doesn't seem to connect. Esther said The Cabin in the Woods. I love The Cabin in the Woods. That's another one of my favorite horror films. Paul just gave us a super chat. Paul, thank you so much for that. We do appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Paul. That's awesome.
It goes a long way. It helps us in trying to get
there's our tombstone that popped up. We have a tombstone that's there.
Did it pop up?
Yeah, it popped up. I had the audio off, though, because I didn't want to... We're learning a lot of this stuff, guys, as far as this live chats. So we do appreciate you guys just kind of hanging with us and being around and donating a couple bucks. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's very nice.
But we have this little tombstone that pops up, and I think that's.
I saw it now because we're on a little bit of a delay.
Oh yeah, you're watching the delay.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool. What was I gonna say here? Well, let's go into We don't want to bore you guys here too much. Let's go into show and tell, Mike.
Show and tell. All right, this week I think you should start show and tell because I feel like I start it pretty frequently. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, what theme that we kind of commonly want to keep going is obviously I have a ton of stuff. Justin has a lot of cool stuff that he loves. We kind of wanted to show one of our favorite things.
And mine's kind of a double here. The lady got me a little gift for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I won't say any more here. And I got to cue up some music here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Sean says it's never boring, and thank you, Sean. We appreciate that.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me do this real fast. Keep him busy, Mike.
All right, well, I will jump in real quick. And Wayne says Hatchet is a trilogy movie, isn't it? I believe there's 4 of them now. But I love Hatchet. And George says he likes it because it's Kane Hodder. Yes, Kane Hodder as Victor Crawley is amazing. Adam Green does an incredible job with Hatchet and kind of bringing back some stuff to horror that we all loved. And that was, I think, about 10 years ago. Are you ready for your reveal of your... Yeah, Justin had to get fancy with his show and tell today, but that's why we love Justin.
All right, let's see here.
Is it ready?
I'm gonna cut to this guy.
He's incorporating some music. A lazy Susan. Yes.
There we go.
What do you got there, Justin? What did you get for a gift? This was for Christmas, correct?
This is for Christmas.
All right.
The lady friend got me this. It's an advent calendar. It's a horror advent calendar, but Christmas had already came.
Right.
So I didn't want to open up all 13. And so it's an advent calendar, but it is a pop advent calendar.
Yes.
So there's 13 little one of these dudes in there.
But they're smaller, correct? Like
they're smaller, yeah.
This is really cool.
So, and I was like, well, I can't open them all on Christmas. I was like, I feel like that's just been a waste. So she's
is
like,
it supposed to be for Christmas? Because it's only 13, right? And most advent calendars are 24 days.
Yeah,
correct?
So I guess it's not.
So I think it's anytime you want, man.
Yeah. What does the box say? Oh, it's a 13 spooky countdown. Actually,
it's
not even.
So this is perfect, man. He just got it for Christmas.
Yeah. So, but first, before we, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick one. We have to figure the system out. We're gonna pick one. We're gonna do one today.
Okay. And let's let the audience. I think we should let Paul, since Paul tossed us a little super chat, very kind. Paul, if you're still in here, you can pick number 1 through 13 as the one that we open up today. How does that sound?
I guess we'll do that first. Let's do it first, and then I'll show you my real show and tell.
Okay. Well, and then we gotta see if Paul's still here. Yeah, that's a very cool thing. I wonder if they still sell those because I want one.
It's oh yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Someone said, "What's happening?" Oh, what's happening?
What's happening? And we got Rajid Haha Animation. Hello, thank you for stopping in.
I thought we had more technical difficulties when I saw what's happening. I'm on high alert, so I was like, "Well,
ever since the beginning, I feel like you've got things nailed down."
I realized what the problem was, but yeah, no,
you had the mute button on.
I had the mute button on. So basically, guys, so Pop obviously is this little deal. I'm not gonna hold you guys for too long here. So if Paul is still here, Paul, which one should we open up first?
Which one should Justin open? I'm actually excited to watch you open it. I wonder if it's gonna be really easy. If you're gonna fumble around, I'd like to make you a little nervous before you get started.
Oh, so Paul, that was my only disclaimer. It's the 13. Well, you know what? I could just open 13. Yeah, you know what?
Come on, man.
My original plan was wait on 13, but let's do it.
All right, so Paul says 13. I wonder if anyone else in this
room.
All right,
well, now I think the fun thing is let's who's it
try
gonna
and
be?
Guess.
Pick a horror. There's pretty much all the classics in here. So
okay.
What do we think 13 will be? And if you know,
I'm gonna go with Jason as my guess because Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I
but
can't
it's like
go
a
Jason.
double door one, right? So it might not be.
Maybe it's the little girls on Shining.
That's a good guess.
The 2 little girls on The Shining.
All right. Well,
let's I'm gonna show you these two other show and tell things first, and then I'll open it up so
Yeah.
people can kind of ask like what's
So-
in there. We're gonna open up 13, and you guys can guess what's in there. I wish there was a prize, but we'll do that. So what I went to Zia Records, another record store. This is my show and tell this week,
Very cool.
and these are Super 8mm movies of. This one's called the Wolfman's Cure.
There's an L. in that.
The wolf. So Mike makes fun of me.
What?
Yeah, Mike makes fun of me. I say, what did I say? Woof.
Wolf. You said wolf.
Woof.
But you
Did I say woof?
You said it first, but then you did correct yourself.
So the Wolfman's Cure and
Lon Chaney is amazing.
House of Frankenstein. So these are.
Amy
guys-
Williams thinks it's The Shining in number 13. Paul says he thinks it's Freddy.
So I'm kind of thinking maybe if there's two Shining characters. I don't know if there's Shining characters. I know there's probably Jason.
Yeah, I feel like on the box I saw maybe a little Jack, but I don't know. Let's open it up. We've
All
got,
right, here we
got
go.
a handful of guesses in there.
All right,
Somebody thinks
guys.
There's going to be some ghosts. All right, here he goes. And yes, 13 Ghosts is awesome.
It's got to be two characters.
Okay.
Oh, it's wrapped in.
Oh, it's wrapped in a...
dang.
So it's like... There's double packaging? And there's is there
Dude, it's
two
the
separate
girls.
ones?
It might be the two girls.
I feel like they would be together. I don't think it is. Is it? Open it up. Let's see.
Here,
There you
Mike,
go.
open up the other one.
All right. Holding it up here. It does look as if it might have hair.
Yeah, I won't reveal mine until.
And I do believe you are correct, sir. Ready?
Oh dang! Here, let me fix my focus.
These are very cool.
Dude, that's awesome.
Is it the Grady twins? Is that correct?
I think so.
That's cool. I have a little, what do you call them? Like they're like horror mystery minis of the girls, but they're like holding the hands together. So that's why I was a little.
Paul, thank you so much. So these
Very
will,
cool.
in the name of Paul here, these.
Can I set mine on my mic? I would love to leave her here for the show, but I don't think that'll work. Very cool, man.
Those are fun.
Lindsay hooked you up, man. You must have been a good boy for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
But no, I love the pop stuff is pretty cool, man.
it's fun, and what really got me into pops was like when it first kicked off, and like I said, like my nephews were into it and collecting it, and they loved it a lot. It's like I wasn't really a big bobblehead guy, and I kind of related it to that. And then also it was like, you know, it was kind of cartoony, and it was like based on, at least to what I knew about it, was a lot of like just stuff that wasn't that important to me. But what really got me was when they started making like the coolest, like just cool characters, like literally everything. And that's why I think Funko Pops are so cool. Is like now they have, like you said, you have the J.J. Abrams, like they have directors. I have a Guillermo del Toro. I have Jim Henson. I mean, literally anything you love in pop culture, they might make.
Right.
And that's amazing. Like that's why I will defend Funko to the end. Sean says the scariest twins ever are the Olsen twins from Full House. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what I just learned
What's that?
that blew my mind was that so I've been watching WandaVision, and I also watched the Marvel movies and all that kind of stuff. But the girl that plays Elizabeth Olsen is the Olsen twin sister. I did not know that.
And what? In
She plays like the Scarlet Witch in like the Avenger movies and stuff.
oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I saw her in movies a few years. Oh, she's in some other films. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that there was another sister. I just
Isn't she in It Follows?
maybe, yeah, maybe. But I was just not aware that there was a sister. I was just thought it was the twins, and she's an incredible actress, which is really cool. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, just fun fact. Maybe everyone else in the world was onto it, and I was just late to the party. I have all the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Funko. That's awesome, George. Yeah, and I think maybe you had mentioned earlier that you had like a Jason Frank one signed as a really cool. I've seen him at some shows signing stuff. He seems like he's always around and really a nice guy from my experience. But Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of what I have a couple of Star Wars ones. I do have Michael Myers signed by Nick Castle and signed by Tony Moran. I have some ones that I'm really into. I'd like to get one signed by Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. So my turn for show and tell. Are you?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No, I just
You got
want to
your
give let me just give one more shot to these. Thank you, Lindsay. For this cool gift.
Yeah.
Here's the do a little thunder sound with these two.
I love it.
That's cool. I like hitting the sound. I like just hitting these buttons.
Yeah, I need buttons now. Next show, I'm gonna have the buttons on my side. I don't want any control of anything else. I just want to make cool sounds. Jeffrey says the Dark Crystal. The Dark Crystal is also amazing. I'm not sure if you were saying. I just agree. The Dark Crystal is definitely worth mentioning all the time. Oh, and Funko Pops, maybe, because I actually do have the Dark Crystal Funko Pops, if that's maybe what you're referring to, but they're really cool.
All right, so now is Mike show and tell.
Okay, so my show and tell is we were talking about this gentleman earlier, which is Michael Myers. So I have the Michael Myers, which I took out of the box. I know some of you guys are going to get, I'm a collector. Some of my stuff I like to keep in the box because I think it looks cooler in the box. Some of the stuff I like outside of the box because I think it's cooler outside of the box. But this is the NECA Halloween Michael Myers that came out. I believe this was NECA. It came out last year, and I really like it. It's clothed. It comes with the deal and the whole nine. So I bought this, about a year ago, and it's been on my shelf ever since. But then I had an idea when I had bought it. A good friend of ours, who is also a partner in our film festival, is Drew Marvick, and he has a film here on the channel called Pool Party Massacre. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's a fun little like throwback to 80s, horror slasher with like the comedy vibes, and it's a fun movie, very independent. Drew created that and wrote and directed himself. It was his first film too. So for those of you who haven't seen that, check it out on our YouTube channel. But what I noticed was that like with this action figure, like that as far as like customizing goes, I was like I could make a Drew Marvick Pool Party Massacre action figure. So do you have the trailer for Pool Party Massacre to queue up or no?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it here. There's it says I have to sign in, but I'm signing over here. Let's see, maybe I can do a little. Let's see. Give me a few seconds. I think I might be able to cue it up for you guys.
All right, we might be able to play the Pool Party Massacre trailer if you guys haven't seen it. But because Drew is a good friend of mine, and he does like, especially when things were normal, he was going to a lot of horror conventions to promote his film, which was really cool. But so I told him, I said, if you buy one of these, I will customize it for you to make you. So he made him as action figure, and that's the Drew Marvick version of this Michael Myers. And what's cool is like he does a kill in the movie. I'm giving away this movie, and hopefully you guys have seen it because it's been out a while. But the hammer, like there's a kill with a hammer, there's a kill with all kinds of fun tools. So I took one of the Michael Myers figures and just resculpted him a head, painted it. Actually, I had to paint the body a little bit too, cut the sleeves off. But now he has one of these, and I haven't seen him in a little bit, so I need to give it to him. So that's my show and tell for today.
I should probably queue it up in 2 minutes. We'll have it up.
2 minutes, we'll have it up. Okay.
So, one thing I wanted. What was your first? Did we talk about this? Your first horror movie in theaters?
My first horror movie in theaters. I don't know if we ever did talk about that. To be honest with you, I have to think about that. I'm not sure on the top of my head that I know the first horror movie I saw in theaters. Because I saw a ton of horror movies as a kid, and like as a young kid, but even though my parents let me watch them, they didn't take me to the movie theaters to watch them.
Right. I think my first horror film in a theater, and I was like probably in 8th grade, because I didn't really have a theater where I grew up at until I moved to the city. But was Halloween H2O.
Really?
Yeah. I was seventh. No, I was in 8th grade when that movie came out in 1998.
Nice. I was graduated for a few years. I was trying to go to college and not doing a good job at it because I was too smart for my own good. I think that my first horror film in the theaters might be Monster Squad, because I definitely remember seeing Monster Squad in the theaters, and I can't really remember seeing anything else before that. So I'm gonna say mine was probably Monster Squad, which is
maybe I saw Chucky
also
2
one
in
of my
theaters.
favorite movies.
Yeah, Monster Squad's great.
Yeah. Jeffrey says, first horror movie was The Thing. That's a good first horror movie, man. Like, I think that one of my earliest memories of watching a horror movie was I remember watching Elvira a lot as a kid, and I remember Elvira more than I remember a lot of the movies that during the show that they played. I just remember loving Elvira and watching those shows, and then I remember very early memory of watching Creature from the Black Lagoon on TV. So that might be one of my first ones.
Let's see here. Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Yeah, it was really cool. I had like a 3D event, and you go to 7-Eleven and get your 3D glasses and watch Creature from the Black Lagoon on TV. It was fun, and the way I remember it is that like it was kind of presented by Elvira, but I don't know if that's true. My brain's just mixing things up. George says first horror was It. It's another good one. Wayne says first horror movie in the theater was Night of the Flesh Hunters. That's awesome. Crawling eyes. A lot of every guy remembers Elvira's shot. Yeah, I think Elvira sticks in your brain for.
Paul said the last time I went to the cinema was to see True Lies. I don't get that much.
Oh wow. I saw True Lies in the theaters, but that's definitely been a while, Paul.
Wow,
like that's been a while.
A couple years ago.
But speaking of horror, right, and horror icons, right, Jamie Lee Curtis.
I think she says that her two best roles were Halloween and True Lies, as far as written roles that she was very proud of. She was actually very proud of Halloween, and she she still holds it pretty high.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
she should be. It's amazing.
If you guys want, we can show you the Pool Party Massacre. Trailer.
Play the trailer for Pool Party Massacre. It's a fun little indie slasher film by one of our good friends, Drew Marvick.
Gross. Do you think you could take your grandpa with you?
Blair Winthorpe and her friends don't know it yet, but they are about to have the worst pool party ever.
Where'd you go now, pervert?
What's her problem? Sugar daddy issues.
Does anybody know how to make a mojito?
I'm not even Italian.
Your logic blows my mind sometimes.
Dude, cash talks or the pizza walks, bro.
Worst pool party ever!
Pool Party Massacre.
Back.
All right, Sean says he loved that movie. Yeah, that was a Terror Tuesdays, and I do think you were there, Sean. And so, since you've seen it, then you've seen for sure the Pool Party action figure. So you know what the killer looks like. So you can tell me if I captured the likeness at all. I also made him an alternate head. See, that's what kind of friend I am. So there's like this is the version of him where he's just normal, and this was like the wide mouthed.
Did it back that up a little bit?
Back it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see. Throw it over here.
Oop. He's better with the camera. Yeah, Esther, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's here on the channel for free to watch. It's a lot of fun. We love independent horror, which is one of the coolest things about being able to make, work at this channel, be part of this channel, is the celebrating of independent horror films. So
Again, if you missed it, Mike made this head. No, before I forget, some of the films that I was actually, then we can probably call it a night, is Netflix is doing Fear Street this summer. 3 films a month apart.
oh, nice. I don't know about this.
Yeah, so I'm pumped for that.
It's called Fear Street.
It's R.L. Stein. So he had I'm pretty sure it's they're doing it this summer.
Nice.
It's like Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And then Fear Street was like the little, I think the notch of like, is the teenage, a little bit high,
Right.
for the older crowd.
Nice. Yeah, I was kind of like too old. I just missed out on R.L. Stein. By the time R.L. Stein came into like getting super popular, I was like a little older. But I really do enjoy his stuff now.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped on that. But we don't want to keep you guys too long. Last but not least, what do we got going on this month for Kings of Horror?
Yeah, so we have a couple things, and what I do want to address quickly is that, like Sean asked how the movie was. He asked earlier, and I meant to mention it then, about how our Terror Tuesdays was last week. And I know that we've had some people bummed out, and so we just kind of want to apologize and explain, is like, as we're getting these films from these different distributors, we'll take anything good that we can get for the channel to show to you guys, but each film comes with its own, stipulations. Some things are available worldwide, which is fantastic and we love. Some things, they're only available in U.S. and Canada. Some are only available in U.S. So, obviously, if we have a choice, we'd take everything and be able to show it to you all. But we only are able to get rights for certain territories with certain films. So if you're left out of one of those events, we do apologize, but we do appreciate you coming back for the next one. And thank you, Sean. Sean says never apologize. Well, thank you for understanding. You guys are amazing. The next, I think, 3 Terror Tuesdays are all worldwide. We also are getting back a new, an old film that we had on the channel called Hell's Caretaker. The movie was distributed through a distributor. They lost the rights, and so we were able to bring it back from the filmmaker himself, Philip Capello. So we'll be releasing that one. We'll be re-releasing that one shortly, and we're very excited to give that back to you and work with the filmmaker. Esta, the movie was called Pool Party Massacre. I'll type it in. So that was what we kind of want to talk about. And then as far as like we have some other films coming that we're working on. Like we're really working on some fun stuff. It just takes a little time. So hopefully we'll be getting a pretty decent catalog soon, and keep bringing you guys some fun stuff.
Yeah. One of the things I want to maybe do a little showcase next week. It's I want to talk about some of our cult films we have on our channel.
Yeah.
And do a little thing with that. So we got some cool stuff. Join us next week, guys, on Friday. As we will probably go live again on Friday. We might even surprise you earlier in the week, but don't hold your breath. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll try. We want to try and do this more often. We love hanging out with you guys, chatting with you guys, and we appreciate you hanging out with us and interacting with us. It's a lot of fun talking to you guys and talking about horror movies and the stuff that we love, and we all love together. So we do appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll plan on at least next Friday, right around the same time.
Yeah.
3:30.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah. And thanks for coming. You guys are great. All you guys in the chat are awesome. And thanks for watching all our films.
Yeah.
And
Sean says he wonders if we would make a catalog of our favorite movies and recommend to buy, watch. Absolutely. We would, and for those of you guys who are in here and haven't joined the Kings of Horror Film Club on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, do that, and we will be getting more interactive in that group again. It's just time and trying to get things done. Like I said, hopefully we secure these next films, this group of films, and it kind of frees us up some more time to do more fun stuff like that. But yeah, we will definitely put together a list, and we'd like to see your guys' list too. So, Sean, I know you're in the group. Give me your top 10. I'd love to see what they are.
Yeah, maybe we'll create a little playlist for you and I on the channel. Also, too, some of the things we're going to be having on our live show. Now that we've kind of got some of these glitches out of the ways, we're gonna be having some guests on pretty soon. So
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, like I know every time we talk, I keep telling you guys watch The Greasy Strangler. But yes, I've talked to the wonderful Michael St. Michaels, and he's agreed to join us one night for a little live chat, and also I have a short film. Yes, watch it tonight, Sean. I can't wait. I don't know. You're either gonna hate me or you're gonna love me. Like I think The Greasy Strangler is the funnest movie in the world. But it's crazy and it's vulgar. But it's so much fun. And Michael's amazing in it. And I was lucky enough to meet Michael when I was talking about going to Mad Monster Party. I met him that year that we went down there, and me and my wife were able to go meet him, and it was a ton of fun. He was a really nice guy. And I ended up lucky enough to make a short film that he starred in, and so we'll share that too.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Have a fantastic weekend.